everyone, good morning. Welcome to Morning Briefing on Aspheric TV. I am Dayo Lujimo Ekuni. Good morning, Uncle Mustila.
Good morning, Dayo. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. I think we actually planned this.
Oh, I'm
red.
just noticing that we almost the same color.
Yeah, I've been watching you since we didn't plan it. It just happened. It happens.
It's coincident that we are wearing almost the same color.
Almost the same, but yours is that's stripe. That's stripe in it.
White stripe. So.
Yes. Well, mine's plain.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to what we have for today. Top happenings making headlines on the front pages of Nigeria's major newspapers. Guardian newspaper headlines. Court remands Kano ex-commissioner for allegedly defaming Ganduje. Bonkri, NSCDC responds to Wike's allegation restructure reverse command. NITDA needs to tax Southeast youth on ICT. Customs immigration raise alarm as revenue losses threaten 17 trillion naira 2022 budget. Police arraign 98 suspected political thugs in Ekiti. Balogun others withdraw suits postpone Ibadan chieftaincy declaration review. The New Telegraph. U.S. lifts suspension on drop-box visa applications in Nigeria. Ogun women gets cash boost from SSG. Will continue to provide funds for the health sector. Gbajabiamila. Court begins hearing on suit challenging Plateau Speaker's removal. Kwara government reiterates support for security agencies. Bauchi government worries as children enrollment in school drops. Complete Sports newspaper. Egypt's defender Hagazi ruled out for reminder of AFCON. Kulu Zekwe, I'm pleased, prepared for Tottenham challenge. Stock City signed Maga on loan from Bordeaux. Official. Ramsey joins Aribo Balogo Bassi at Rangers. Man United midfielder Van Do Beek joins Everton on loan. How late? That's exclusive. How late? 800 million naira bid stopped AEK Athens move for Umbodo. The Daily Independent newspaper. NIMET Nimet warns of extreme heat as temperature rises across states. Court orders Navy to pay late Admiral Kanu's entitlements into dedicated account. NADDC NAMA others make case for locally made vehicles. Lion Matilda becomes Apex Lions Club 8th president. Amateco arrests 150 suspects, parades ritualists with limbs in Ondo. Oil marketers meet Silva seek explanation on failed fuel subsidy removal. Premium Times newspaper. Police parade notorious bandits Bello Turji's doctor and others. We say ritual guidelines on Facebook. We saw ritual guidelines on Facebook say suspects who allegedly beheaded woman. Leadership recruitment on our constitution by Ruben Abati. Get ready to rise to the challenge. Redmi Note 11 series is coming too. APC Reconciliation Committee submits report says more members still aggrieved. Daily Post newspaper. 2023 presidency. Ohaneze cautions EFCC over Okorocha and others. Zoning presidency to North will lead to chaos, says Clark. Peter Obi gives one condition to run for presidency. Okorocha's presidential bid affront to Igbo's collective integrity. On Woso Anya. Anambra APC rejects State Congress, urges Bonny to meet stakeholders to harmonization. Ahead of convention, APC reconciles faction in Kwara, Gombe, and others. Business Day newspaper. MTN rallies on Nigeria mobile money surge. MTN rallies on Nigeria mobile money surge. 5 big companies enjoying Nigeria's low interest rate. Analysis: why tin can port has become importers' nightmare. Flour mill Q3 financials shows robust growth. PM News newspaper. The real reason I divorced Atiku Abubakar, says Jennifer Douglas. While Anambra man Oyedika Unfor kills blind brother, burns corpse. Another 77 miscreants arrested in Niger. 15,000 varsity graduates. Others apply for traffic control jobs. Oyo police target illegal users of siren. Nigeria-UK Defence Partnership Dialogue opens in London. Leadership newspaper. ShopRite expands to Kaduna, Jos, Port Harcourt, and Benin. Growing Nigerian insurance industry through robust data. Gani Adams seeks amendment of constitution before 2023 election. Insecurity impending. Fight against out-of-school children, MENAC, says Niger government. CBN funds 28 coins with 23.2 billion naira under 100 for 100 policy. Nigerian Tribune. 2023 Okorocha Tambuwal declare interest in presidency or be likely to. Tobacco harm reduction. Africa must not be left behind. Stop selling empowerment items, Ngige tells beneficiaries. International Day of Education. Nine Mobile announces future CEO initiative. Nigeria has grown beyond military coup, says Buhari. National Convention. APC may lose out in 2023 if, says Youth Forum. The Sun newspaper. Okorocha others face 2.9 billion naira fraud charges. Indorama denies a meeting suit in Rivers. Federal government detaining Kanu for refusing monetary inducement to abandon Biafra, IPOB alleges. Police arraign 98 in court in connection with Ekiti PDP Guba primary. Police recruitment. More than 90% applicants failed to score 30% in examination, says PSC. Ikeja Electric opens up on energy penetration strategy. Well, that's all for now. Right now we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back we'll get to discuss the news. There have been a lot of stories making headlines on the national newspapers. Uncle Musti,
Yeah.
what have you been able to pin out?
Well, we are still in the political era. We have not even stepped into the political era. We are only inching towards the main political era. So everything that we must talk about now, we must start from politics.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought you discussed about, you mentioned about Rochas Okorocha.
Yes. Of course, we're going to. I have them lined up. Yeah.
So to me, I thought no time is abnormal, but to me, the man just declared his presidential ambition days ago, and just yesterday, EFCC decided to clamp down on him.
Filing fraud charges.
Fraud charges against him. 2 point something. Is it 2.9
billion naira?
9 billion naira. So, although he has been having running battle with EFCC, Imo State government, but this time around, certainly people will raise eyebrow on it to say, okay, his arrest was political. You understand?
And that's what he said.
And he himself is saying so. You understand? So EFCC should learn to do more of their investigation, so that by the time they arrest someone, the evidences will be presented before the law courts, will be too overwhelmed for that person to deny. You understand? So you discover that now they have picked Okorocha is now alleging that his arrest is more political. You understand? Which is not in order. You understand? So let's see how it goes.
Well, let me read out the news. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Monday, yesterday, filed a 17-count charge before a federal high court in Abuja against the lawmaker representing Imo West Senatorial District, Rochas Okorocha. Well, the anti-graft agency claimed that the former governor of Imo State conspired with others, including a member of the All Progressive Congress, APC, and 5 companies to steal 2.9 million naira public funds.
Billion, not?
Yes, billion. That was an error on my part. Apart from Okorocha, other defendants are Anien Inye Rere Chineye, Naftali International Limited, Perfect Finish Multi Project Limited, Consolid Project Consulting Limited, Pramif International Limited, and Legend World Concepts Limited. This is coming after Okorocha officially announced his intention to run in the 2023 general election. Well, the Imo West Senator made his declaration on Monday on the International Conference Center, Abuja. Well, there's something I want to also pick out also. He also said something about NSIS. He said that there was nothing like police brutality, and I will read it. Well, the former governor of Imo State, that's Rochas Okorocha, has said that there's no such thing as police brutality in Nigeria. But we understand that the Nigerian lawmaker stated this during a press briefing in Abuja yesterday, where he officially announced his 2023 presidential ambition. According to him, police brutality is a situation of youth brutalizing youth because the policemen accused of brutality are also young persons, and their actions are out of frustration.
You see, he's trying to be more political now. You understand, with this. Recall that just last month, his in-law Uche Nwosu was also manhandled by the police when he was arrested in Imo.
There's no such thing.
And he's talking about no brutality. See, Dayo, there's no two ways about this thing. When people say there is karma, whether you like it or not, there is karma. You understand? There is this news, I've forgotten the daily that carried that news regarding the ex-commissioner in Kanu.
I think it's PM.
That is, it's been, I think he's still in detention up to now.
Yes.
Court remanded him till when? So, this was a commissioner. He was former commissioner of works in Ganduje administration. So, until he made one Facebook criticism of President Buhari, then the governor now removed him. Then he was so powerful. He was among the commissioners that were like picking on former governor Kwankwaso. You understand? So, but look at now, since he's no more part of the people on the dining table eating from the state government, now he's being haunted. Because of what? Because he criticized the governor. You understand? So what Rochas Okorocha is saying, whether he like it or not, tomorrow he will also fall a victim of police brutality. Power is transit. You understand? Because you are in power today doesn't mean that you will remain in power, perpetually in power. Time will come that you vacate that scene. And when you vacate that scene, you will taste a pill of what others are going through. And then you will recall your statement back. You understand? Not that we are wishing him bad. We are not wishing him bad. I wish him best of luck in his political journey. But what he's saying is like poking Nigerians into their eyes. You understand? So, which is not normal, whether we like it or not. Even the NSAS itself, based on international medias, they have categorized that there is actually police brutality that necessitated the NSAS protest. We're not discussing NSAS protest here, but we're talking about what he said that doesn't go in line with the reality on ground. So he's an elder. Elders, they should learn how to at least, when they are saying something, to a kind of win sympathy from their followers, they should be mindful of what they say. I believe part of the people at the gathering yesterday, where he was making this statement, some of them had their own experiences with the police. Police, they are doing wonderfully well. We can't do without them, but we have some overzealous among them that go extra mile into doing some of those things that doesn't conform with the modern policing duties. In this
time in Nigeria, when it comes to government aspect and all,
yeah,
is it now a very hard thing to say the truth when you are vying for a position in the government? Because that's where I see it. Like, because they want to be in the government.
No, you know, Nigerians generally is a hypocrisy. You understand? Hypocrisy on the part of the people vying for elected position. So they must say something to please the government of the day, by displeasing. You know, it's just like when you have two options. You consider the most powerful option. Who is the most powerful in this case now? The government. You understand? So whereas it's not supposed to be so. The people make the government. The leaders are supposed to be afraid of the people, what they say. But in our own context, you discover that people are being neglected. We are neglected because our input doesn't add up. You understand? In the political system, the input, which is from the society, constitute the power. But in our own case, it's not like that. That is in ideal sense. So you discover that what Okorocha said yesterday regarding the police brutality is more or less like tilting to the aspect, to the part of the government of the day, to say, okay, let me not say what will ike the government. Let me say what it will pleases them. Remember that whenever any of them, especially those from the APC, if they want to like signify their interest to contest for 2023 presidency, the first port of call is to see the president. You understand? I believe that days to come, he himself will now go and see the president and look, I'm vying for 2023 presidency.
Is that not psychophancy?
So that is why I'm telling you that whatever you heard from them saying will be something to please the government of the day. And if you look at it very well, the way we conduct our things here, government of the day, that is the federal government, is so powerful to the extent that their power is so enormous. It's not on the basis. It's not because of the individual that occupy that seat. No, it's the constitution. The constitution made federal government to be too powerful. Let me even give you a little clue. When you hear people now blaming at every point to blame federal government, do you know why? Because federal government takes the lion's share of money from our federation account. They take almost 56%, whereas state and local government, that is, we have three tiers of government. That 3 tiers of government, only federal government alone takes about 56% of the money in the federation account, and the rest between the state and the local government. That is the enormous power at the federal level. That is why people will now be talking about devolution of power, so that if you are in the state, you don't need to rush to Abuja to please Abuja for anything. Be in your state and rule and take care of your state. Develop at your own pace. But it's not like that. Everybody want to in Abuja. Even if federal government and take food away from your mom, you can't, because you are looking for one thing from the federal government. You won't say it publicly that federal government, why did you take food from my mom? You understand? So what Okorocha said, this is public talk. When he go back to his closet, what he is going to say is completely a different thing. Recall that his son-in-law, Uche Nwosu, while in the church, he was kidnapped, abducted from the church by the policemen, of which the Anglican Church condemn it. I think even can condemn it. Even the son-in-law himself, he explained it, but he only said, since all of them belong to the ruling party, it's more or less like a party thing. So no matter the anger, you understand. So what he said is just in line with that.
So why is it looking like we have people in the government that are chameleon? No, that's because that's the way it's looking like.
See, the only people that could in Nigeria today that could have their voice intact, they are very few from the society. You would observe now that psychophancy is what keeps some people going. Come on, you live in Abuja. Let me give you a little clue of how Abuja runs. You will see some people, they will ride exotic cars, looking flamboyant with their agbada, with cap to match. Ask them what they do. They don't have anything doing. What they are living on is on praise singing. Ask them today to say, okay, I want 1,000 gathering of supporters. They know the neighborhood that they will go with buses and pick them, wear them t-shirt and face cap, and they will gather them.
And give them 5k.
Give them 5k. In some cases they will give them 2k. So that is what they do for a living. So you discover that everything about Nigeria now, especially in the people around the corridors of power, it's all about psychophancy. And we are paying dearly for our hypocrisy. Understand?
Too bad. Well, the National Assembly has transmitted the revised Electoral Act Amendment Bill to President Muhammadu Buhari for assent. Well, we've learned that the clerk of the National Assembly, Olatunde Amos Ojo, forwarded the document to the president's office in Aso Rock yesterday. It was also gathered that the revised bill, which was passed by the lawmakers last week, is now with the president as Nigerians await the signing of the electoral bill ahead of the 2023 general election. Well, in a statement, an aide to the president on National Assembly Senate, Senator Babajide Omoworare, confirmed that the president has received the electoral bill. So we are waiting.
We just pray so that the president this time around will not refuse to assent to the bill again, because we cannot use the amended electoral bill to the 2023 election. We want something perfect. At least we are not saying perfect. Nearly perfect, transparent, free and fair election. That is what we are praying and aiming at. So, because we can't gamble with our future again, we have said it on and on. It should be a free and fair and transparent election.
Okay, another one. Troops of the Nigerian army have carried out more successful operations against terrorists loyal to Boko Haram and the Islamic State of West Africa province, ISWAP. The troops of Operation Hadin Kai, in two different operations, eliminated scores of Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists in Borno and Yobe states. While confirming the development in a statement on Monday, as yesterday, the Army Public Relations Officer, Brigadier General Onyema Uwachuku, said weapons and other items are also recovered from the terrorists. He confirmed that the operations involved the heavy exchange of gunfire between the terrorists on one side and troops assisted by the Civilian Joint Task Force CJTF on the other side. Well, our security agencies are really doing.
They are doing very well.
They are doing very well.
So we have to commend them. We have to commend them. No matter the challenges, they are doing very well. So that is if what the army spokesperson is saying is
true.
It's true. You understand? So we just believe that it's true.
But actually, to an extent, they are doing well. But the only thing is that the battle before them, should we say, is enormous, so big.
Well, you understand that the battle, almost the insecurity now has gone beyond the scope of only the conventional security personnel. You understand? We're talking about banditry. If the police had been able to contain the bandit, army won't be involved. But you discover now that army are virtually involved everywhere. In northwest, they are there. Northeast, they are there. In southeast, they are there. Even in southwest, they are there. So you discover that army now practically has taken over the role of the police. So they are overwhelmed. You understand? So despite all these challenges, they are recording successes. So we have to commend them. Indeed, they are the pride of our nation. So we have to commend them. We have to give them that commendation.
And their lives are
their lives. See, when you heard this from the chief army spokesperson, he said heavy exchange of fire. Definitely some on troops too. They have gone. You understand? These are fathers. These are sons to some fathers. So they have wives. They have gone. You understand? So their children will become orphans. These are the sacrifices they are paying to keep Nigeria together.
Wow. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, has made a shocking revelation at the Federation Account Allocation Committee FAAC meeting. In its 2021 performance report submitted to the committee recently, the national oil firm said it spent 100 billion naira on the rehabilitation of the nation's refineries last year. NNPC disclosed that 8.3 billion naira was spent every month in 2021 to revamp the moribund refineries in the country, adding that the refineries have a combined installed capacity of 445,000 barrels of oil per day. Well, according to the report that we've got, the refineries managed by the NNPC include Port Harcourt Refining Company (PHRC), Kaduna Refining Production Company (KRPC), and Warri Refining Production Company (WRPC). I mean, 100 billion naira. And things are still looking
Dayo,
strange.
I feel like crying whenever I hear figures such as this. Because let's reason practically now. It's like when you have your personal business running, you require like to require a product of 50 million on daily basis, and they are spending billions daily for the alternative, and the alternative which does not give you up to 1% of that 50 million. So are you not running at this? This is a clear-cut corruption. But sadly, nobody to prove into it. But the basic thing is that NNPC is beginning to talk because of they have gone public. You understand? They are now limited PLC. So since they have gone public now, so they are more or less like business entity. So in a business, you think about loss. You talk about profit. Understand? So if the loss is becoming enormous, they have to review it, and that is why they are talking now. So on daily basis, Nigeria requires between 56 million liters of PMS. You understand? And so far they are spending 100 billion on refining less than 1% of our consumption.
And 8.3 billion naira
monthly.
You
understand? So this is a clear-cut corruption. You understand? But the good thing is that we have put, to some extent, measures into that corrupt practices. What are the measures? The measure now is NNPC is no more wholly government establishment. It's now business. So since they are in business now, they will think like businesses. They will think like Dangote business. They will think like other businesses. So it's no more like money, they will generate money, allocate money, that money, whether they yield the result or not, that doesn't concern them. But it's not good for our nation. We cannot continue to be running at lost that way. You understand? We are talking about borrowing, whereas we create that avenue for us, the avenues that are more like conduit pipe, whereby money are channeled to, and then at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, they will say they allocate contract for this. You understand? The refineries on ground today, they are completely moribund. There's no two ways about it. It's either they license private individuals to start new refineries, or they sold off these refineries to private entities. Whatever thing they will do with it is entirely their own. To tell you how Nigeria even think, all along these refineries refuse to work. The 4 refineries, they refuse to work. But Nigerian government now puts much hope on Dangote's refinery. And I can tell you for a fact that, look, Dangote as a businessman, he gave federal government conditions. You understand? Part of the condition that he gave to the federal government is part of what government is about doing now. The regulation of the downstream sector of the oil. Remove their hand from anything pricing. Anything pricing, they should remove their hand, because Dangote said, look, I can go to anywhere around the world, import my crude and refine. But government, you can't tell me on the price to be selling my refined product. So that is the condition he gave them. So, and virtually all the condition that he gave, federal government, they are following it diligently to remove this thing. So, you see, Dayo, there is a problem. We should tell ourselves that there is a problem. We are talking about a private business man. What is he in the business for? Is he in the business to give charity? No, he's in a business to maximize profit. So profit maximization will be his sole mission statement. So you understand? So forget about all these ones. They will tell you that the refinery is this, the refinery is that, Dangote is coming to. No, the conditions that he gave them is part of what government is putting into consideration now. You understand? You know, the refinery is partially supposed to start operation by December, but they have shifted it again because of some of these things they are seeing on ground. I mean, he's right. You understand? He's in the business. He cannot go to Brazil, import crude, refine in Nigeria, and they are expecting him to be selling at government regulated prices. No. There's what we call cost of doing business. So if it costs him an amount of money to say, okay, is to refine the crude per liter, if it costs him over 200 naira, you don't expect him to be selling 200 naira. So he'll be selling for let's say 400 naira, because he would like to recoup his money back. That is it. But it's a shame that in 21st century we have 4 refineries. Government is spending, NNPC is spending 100 billion. 8 billion on every monthly on the refineries, and they are not working, and they are still spending money on. Do you understand? You don't understand what I'm talking about? It's like you have a foundation. That foundation is faulty, and they keep on spending money on their foundation instead of you to scrap the foundation entirely or discard it completely. You are still spending money on, and they are not getting anything in return.
Isn't that wastage?
Complete.
Well, former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, is reportedly considering dropping former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi in favor of another person as his running mate for the 2023 presidency. According to reports, Atiku wants to choose Rivers State Governor Nwosu Wike as his running mate should he clinch the People's Democratic Party ticket for 2023 presidency. Atiku and Obi had contested together in 2019 as the presidential and vice presidential candidate of the PDP, according to report. But according to sources quoted by Business Day, apart from his charisma and intellectual capacity which made him popular with the people, Obi didn't make too much financial contribution to the ticket. The source claimed it is the belief in Atiku camp that Wike can also attract voters from the southeast and bring meaningful financial contribution to political campaigns as well. So it's the person who has.
You're not a politician. I'm not a politician. So I think we are at a neutral ground to assess some of these things because we are not part of them. So you look at it in 2019. When you start here, these are rumors. You understand? Perhaps Peter Obi didn't make substantial financial contribution in their 2019 presidential aspiration under Atiku. You understand? These are things that politicians put into consideration. Money,
not just the intellectual.
No, intellectual. Who is counting on intellectual for in our own part of the world? Even in advanced world, it's not only about
you have to have
if you don't have finances, you can't go into politics. You understand? Our politics is highly monetized. You understand? So it's a good strategy. You understand? Because if you look at it very well, Atiku has been drained over some time. You understand? Part of his company in Intels in Rivers, part of the contract concession that federal government gave them since Buhari came, that concession was terminated by NPA. So of which he has to let go his interest in the Intel's integrated company. So 2023, it will require so much money to be able to withstand the ruling party. And if you look at it very well, over the last 3 years, Governor Nyesom Wike has been one of the major financiers of PDP. Apart from that, he ensured that the party stay alive. You understand? I saw one of his video where he was talking about the former chairman of the party, Uche Secondos. He said Uche Secondos is not doing well. Forget. He was instrumental to Uche Secondos becoming the chairman of the party. And he still initiated the process of his removal as a party. So, and he said that if we allowed Uche Secondos to continue as the chairman of the party will die. You understand? Which it means that he has interest of the party. So the interest of the party is not because he liked the party, but because of his own interest too. The interest is about unfolding now, which is 2023. You understand? So if Atiku Abubakar decided to pick him as his running mate, it's strategic. It's all about appealing to the general public, to the electorate to support. So Peter Obi is a fine gentleman. He's an intellectual. He's loaded upstairs, but it's far beyond that. The contest about 2023 is far, far beyond that. Let me give you a clue. Do you know that in 2014, when APC decided pencil down on only one choice, which is Buhari, it was for strategic interest. And what is the interest? Interest of defeating PDP at all costs. So all other persons that decided to narrow down on Buhari because of what? Because Buhari already had intact a block vote from the north. So all they need was to pick him and garner some other support here and there. So Nyesom Wike, who has been the governor of Rivers, he has done very well in terms of achievement in Rivers. You understand? He has points. He has some projects to prove to Nigerians to say, look, I have done this. I have done this in my state, Rivers. You understand? Practically he has been talking. It's not a kind of a quiet governor. No, he's vocal. The achievements are there to show. So if Atiku now decide to say, okay, come, let's do this thing together, it's for strategic reason.
Mm-hmm. Well. A former commissioner for works and infrastructure in Kano State, that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Muazu Magaji has been remanded at a correctional center in the state on the order of a magistrate court sitting at Normalsland area. A 4-count charge has been filed against Magaji, bordering on defamation of character, international insult, injurious falsehood, and inciting disturbance against the state's governor Abdullahi Ganduje. Magaji on Monday, when brought before the magistrate, pleaded not guilty to all the charges, said to be in contravention of Section 392, 399, and 114 of the Administration of Criminal Justice of Kano State, 1999. The magistrate Aminu Gabari then asked the defendant whether he knew the meaning of defamation of character, to which he answered no. Gabari pointed to the part accusing Magaji of posting Ganduje's picture on Facebook with a lady, which portrayed the governor of having extramarital affair, but Magaji denied the allegation. The magistrate who objected to the bail application of the former commission ordered that he be remanded at a correctional center until Thursday, when the ruling will be delivered on the bail application. I mean, he doesn't know the meaning of
and he's an engineer. He just, when you want to laugh. It's just that court is really regarded as a temple of justice. You understand? So if you want to laugh, if they are allowed to say people where you, if you are in the court, you can. When you go there, you start hearing some things. Even himself, I don't want to say pretended, but he was just carried, supported to the court because he claimed he was not feeling fine. So these are some of the gimmick that people put package and present in the court. You understand? The fact that he will say he doesn't know the meaning of defamation, how would he say so? He can't say so. Probably if he says so, that is what his lawyer told him, that look, if they ask you regarding this, say you don't know it. So he went, he say he doesn't even know it. If they are like trying to prove to say okay, bring evidence against him, he said, I don't even know. He will not say, no, look, I don't know that this thing is wrong. Understand? But the fact is that he has been Governor Ganduje's loyalist for long. He has been his loyalist for long. Understand? Until after he made a comment, a post on Facebook regarding the insecurity in the north, and he put the blame at the desk of President Muhammadu Buhari, and he was removed. From that time, he started blowing hot against his former principal, Ganduje. You understand? So, but what we are saying, like I told you, politicians, they should remember that there is karma. Power is transient. If you look at it clearly, what the court in the magistrate court in Kano there they are doing, the judiciary they are trying to do, it's like they are trying to please the governor. Even if they know the truth, they will bend the truth and to make sure that they hunt down this man and use him as an example to deter other critics. That is exactly what they are doing. Understand? But exactly whatever thing he said to Ganduje today, he has done it to some other persons too. Understand? The former governor of the state, Kwankwaso Musa Kwankwaso, this same Muazu, in fact, he turned him to like a symbol of insult every now and then when he was the commissioner. But look at him today. He cannot say even little of what he was saying to others. So, when people say there is no karma or there is no nemesis, these two, they exist. It doesn't mean whether you are occupying the highest position in life or low. You should be mindful of what you do. You should be mindful of your utterances. You should be mindful of your actions. One day it will return back to haunt you. That is exactly what is haunting Engineer Muazu now in Kano. So we should be mindful of what we do. It's not about politics. It's not about power. It's not about. Well, you discover that we are now a lot of hypocrites outside there. Psychopathy.
Psychopath. Too bad. Well, thank you everyone for staying with us on Morning Briefing today, 1st of February 2022. I forgot to say Happy New Month.
We're in the new month. This January. January doesn't have much demarcation between January and February, so you understand. Before you know, you just move into it, and because it's still in the New Year thing, so people don't know. So
and it's actually a month of love.
Month of love, yeah.
Share the love. You don't need to wait for February 14 before you begin to share love. It doesn't have to be between a man and a woman. It doesn't have to be between your lover, a particular lover. Share the love all around. To your neighbors, friends and family. Let them know that it's a privilege to be alive and to have people by your side. There are so many people committing suicide today.
Suicide shouldn't be an option at all.
Stay, love people, and give the love. Thank you, everyone. I am Dayo Lujuwa Ikudi. Thank you, Uncle Musti Lala, for always being on point. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media handles: Facebook at Aspheric News, Instagram at aspheric.news, and Twitter at Aspheric News. Thank you. See you in the evening. Bye.